All right, today we're talking about something you might have in your pantry right now, barbecue sauce. This is a bit of an urgent safety alert. It's all about a hidden ingredient, a product recall, and honestly, why the safety systems we have in place are so important. Okay, let's get right into it.
Seriously, think about it. What's really hiding in your barbecue sauce? You probably don't give it a second thought, right? But for some folks in Oregon, this question became super important. Because, well, what you don't know is on a food label, that can be a really big deal.
So this all centers on a company called Anthony's Barbecue Sauce. They've just put out a recall for one of their products. So what we're going to do is break down exactly what's going on, who needs to pay attention, and most importantly, what you need to do about it. So, what's the big problem here? It really boils down to a simple but, yeah, pretty dangerous mistake. There was something in the bottle that just wasn't listed on the label.
Okay, so check this out. It's pretty straightforward. The label just says barbecue and dip it sauce. Simple enough. But what's actually in there? A sauce made with anchovies. Yep, fish. And that's a major allergen that wasn't mentioned anywhere on the packaging. Big oversight.
And just a quick refresher, because this is super important. A food allergen is anything that can cause an allergic reaction. And for someone with a fish allergy, even a tiny bit of anchovy they didn't know they were eating, that could be a really serious, even life-threatening situation. And that's why this kind of thing is taken so seriously.
All right, so now we all know what the problem is. The big question is, do you have this bottle sitting in your fridge or pantry? So let's get into the nitty-gritty details of what you need to be looking for.
Okay, first things first, the basics. You're looking for the brand Anthony's. The product name is Barbecue and Dip It Sauce, and it comes in a 15-ounce glass bottle. The company, by the way, is based out of Brookings, Oregon.
Now this next part is probably the most important thing to check. Find the barcode. You need to look for this exact UPC number, 689066622721. If that number matches the one on your bottle, you've got the recalled product.
And get this wasn't something that was just on the shelves for a week. These bottles were being sold from February all the way through November of 2025. That is a 9-month window, which means there's a really good chance it's still sitting in someone's pantry right now. Now, the good news here, if you can call it that, is that the recall is pretty limited in scope. The sauce was only sold at 2 very specific stores in Oregon, a place called Taylor's in Cave Junction and Long's Meat Market in Eugene. So only 2 locations. Okay, so this leads us to the most critical part of this whole thing, your action plan. If you've looked and you have this exact bottle, here's precisely what you should do.
And look, just so we're all on the same page about how serious this is a direct quote from the company's announcement. They said, "People who have an allergy or severe sensitivity to anchovy, fish, run the risk of serious or life-threatening allergic reaction if they consume this product." I mean, serious or life-threatening. That's why we have to pay attention to these recalls.
So the steps are really simple. 3 things. 1, check your pantry, find the bottle. 2, this is the big one, do not eat it. And 3, take it back to the store you bought it from. They'll give you a full refund.
And hey, if you still have questions or you're just not sure about something, the company put out a number you can call. You can reach them on weekdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. All right, so we've covered the what, the where, and the what to do. But I think it's worth taking just a second to zoom out and look at the bigger picture here. Why this whole system of recalls is so important.
You know, the really key thing here is how they found this problem. It wasn't because someone got sick and reported it. No, they actually found the undeclared anchovy during a routine inspection. The system worked before anyone got hurt. That's huge.
And this right here, this is the proof that the system works. How many people got sick from this sauce? 0. A big fat 0. And that is the entire point of a recall like this. Catch it and get it off the shelves before it can harm anyone.
So, yeah, hearing product recall can sound kind of scary, right? But what this really is, it's a good thing. It's proof that our food safety rules are actually doing their job. It's the safety net working exactly like it's supposed to, keeping us safe.
And you know, this whole thing really leaves you with one final thought. This entire situation, this recall, it all comes down to just a couple of words missing from a label. It really makes you think. How often do you actually read the full ingredient list on what you buy? It's such a small thing, but man, it can make all the difference.